Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this lounge. It's showtime. And now please welcome to the stage in his show, Broadway Dreams, the one and only, Mr. J. Michael Beech.
When I hear a band blowing bassy, I can count on losing my cool. Take me where the rhythm is racy. That's where I'm a dancing fool. Some prefer the Cafe Europa, sipping Dubonnet on a stool. Me, I get my kicks at the Copa. That's where I'm a dancing fool. I'll show you some moves, smooth as satin, and others they don't teach in school. When that crooner starts descanting, just give me a chance and my tuxedo pants and... Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Broadway Dreams. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. When those trumpets flare, man, I ain't gotta care, man. I'm like Fred Astaire, man. Ooh, just give me a chance and my tuxedo pants and presto! I'm a dancing fool. I'm a dancing fool, yeah. Thank you. This song was made famous in Australia by an unknown named Johnny Farnham. Everything has its season, everything has its time. Show me a reason and I'll soon show you a rhyme. Cats fit on the windowsill, children fit in the snow. And why do I feel I don't fit in anywhere I go? Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. Every man has his daydream, every man has his goal. People like the way dreams have of sticking to the soul. Thunderclouds have their lightning, nightingales have their song. And don't you know I want my life to be something more than long. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. So many men seem destined to settle for something small, but I won't rest until I know I'll have it all. So don't ask where I'm going, just listen when I'm gone. And far away you'll hear me singing softly to the dawn. The rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner so much. Thanks for joining me after an exhausting day in Athens.
Right.
You all enjoying your trip so far? Yes, me too. What fun. Tons of walking, hot weather, but just the history that we've seen over the last, how many days we've been on? 6 weeks at least? It feels like 6 months. My name is J. Michael Beech, and welcome again. A lot of people ask me how I first got started in the business, and the answer is very, very simple. I was walking down the hall in elementary school, and Miss Munson, my music teacher, was walking toward me, and she said, "Hey, what the J of J. Michael stands for, how would you like to be in a play?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" Well, next thing I knew, I was cast as orphan number 2 in the musical Oliver. Only orphan number 2 because somebody with the last letter of A beat me to orphan number 1, unfortunately. But the bug bit, and I've been doing it for, I think I celebrated my 34th anniversary this past April of being in the performing arts. And thank you very much. It has been such an amazing trip. I will never forget our opening night of Oliver. If you're familiar with the show, at the end there's a big, huge, dramatic scene where the fog is rolling in and one of the main characters is murdered, and everything wraps up in the end. Well, opening night, our fog machine exploded. And it was before we had those hazers that they use now. Back then the fog was made using dry ice and water and oil so that it would, roll across the stage. Well, the fog machine exploded. The audience missed the murder. They missed the entire last scene because the fog was so thick. But it came time for curtain call, and the director said during rehearsals, "Be sure to run out as fast as you can and take your bow." Well, you have to imagine there's this layer of fog still sitting on the stage, right about this level of our 10 and 11-year-old heads. So you see this line of kids running out over this level of fog, and then one by one they disappear beneath the fog bank because there's this nice slick layer of oil on the stage. And I will never, ever forget that. Soon after, when I got into high school and realized that this is really what I wanted to do, my parents took me to see Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat at one of the local theaters in North Carolina. And I saw that show, and I just wanted to play Joseph so bad. So bad I wanted to play Joseph. And I got to go backstage afterwards and meet the gentleman who played Joseph in that touring production. And I will never forget, I said, I think you did a really nice job, and we're doing Joseph next year at my high school, and I'm going to audition for Joseph. And he looked down at me, and he goes, "Well, good luck." I was absolutely devastated. Absolutely devastated. And I made a vow then and there that I would never treat another actor that way. And that I would play Joseph better than he did. I've since done Joseph 4 times. I've played Joseph twice. And it's one of my mom's favorite shows. I don't know where she is. She's here somewhere. There's Mom. Hi, Mom. And this next song is from Joseph, and it was my grandmother's favorite song. So this is for you, Grand. Any dream will do. Some folks dream of the wonders they'll do before their time on this planet is through. Some just don't have any plan. They hide their hopes and their heads in the sand. Now I don't say who is wrong, who is right, but if by chance you are here for the night, then all I need is an hour or 2 to tell the tale of a dreamer like you. We all dream a lot. Some are lucky, some are not. But if you think it, want it, dream it, then it's real. You are what you feel. But all that I say can be told another way, in a story of a boy whose dreams came true, and he could be
No, it's not working.
I closed my eyes, drew back the curtain to see for certain what I thought I knew.
I tried this one earlier, but it's working.
Far, far away, someone was weeping, but the world was sleeping. I wore my coat with golden lining, bright colors shining, wonderful and new. And in the east, the dawn was breaking, and the world was waking. A crash of drums, a flash of light, my golden coat flew out of sight. The colors faded into darkness, I was left alone. May I return to the beginning, the light is dimming, and the dream is too.
Yeah, I tried this one earlier before the show.
The world and I, we are still waiting, still hesitating.
There you go.
Any dream
Thanks, yeah.
will
So happen.
Any dream will do. A crash of drums, a flash of light, my golden coat flew out of sight. The colors faded into darkness, I was left alone. May I return to the beginning, the light is dimming, the dream is the world and I, we are still waiting, still hesitating. Any dream will do. Any dream will do. Thank you very much. One of the other wonderful opportunities I've had was to perform as in the role of Tony in the musical Copacabana for Barry Manilow.
Yeah, it's working.
And if you're not
turn it
familiar
off
with
already?
the musical version of Copacabana, it's basically a 2.5-hour version of the 3-minute song. Yeah. It's probably why it did so well in London. But it wasn't until then really that I had a grasp or a knowledge of Barry Manilow's, just the depth of his writing skills. And the man has such a gift for melody, wouldn't you say? Do we have some Barry fans out there? All right, excellent. I'd like to do 2 numbers for you. The first is from Copacabana, and then the second is from a musical that he's written called Harmony, and the song is entitled Every Single Day. But first, oh my gosh, the name just whoop, went out of my head. Sweet Heaven, I'm in Love Again. There.
Hey down there, look at me now, I'm flying high. Here I am, heaven knows how, heaven knows why. Guess I'm just a lucky guy. Sweet heaven, I'm in love again. Sweet heaven, I'm in love again. You came along, now what can I do? I only wanna be with you. Sweet heaven, here I go again. I'm hooked from head to toe again. 1 minute I'm so lonely, and then oh, sweet heaven, hey, babe, now that I found you, life's a song. Say, babe, where were you hiding? I've been waiting so long. Sweet heaven, I'm in love again, so totally in love again. I'll shout it everywhere I go, I'll sing it on the radio. I want the whole world to know, sweet heaven, I'm in love again. Sweet heaven, I'm in love again. Sweet heaven, I'm in love again. You came along, now what can I do? I only wanna be with you. Sweet heaven, here I go again. I'm hooked from head to toe again. 1 minute I'm so lonely, and then oh, heaven, hey, babe, now that I found you, life's a song. Say, babe, where were you hiding? I've been waiting so long. Sweet heaven, I'm in love again, so totally in love again. I'll shout it everywhere I go, I'll sing it on the radio. I want the whole world to know, sweet heaven, I'm in love again.
Thank you.
Every single day we'll remember what we do today. Words we didn't say, we'll remember every single day. Then years go by to wonder why and wonder what we learned. Was that the bridge we should have crossed? the one we burned. Every empty night, to regret a life that could have been. Maybe you were right, just forget that empty nest within. So if you go before that moment's gone, look at me the way I'll remember every single day from now on. You deserve, I don't know what, the man I'd love to be. That's not the way it turned out. No, you fell in love with me. Everything you doubt, I will fight for every single day. Help me work it out, make it right for every single day. And this I swear and stake my life upon. If you go or stay, I will love you as I do today. And I love you every single day. From now on.
Thank you. Thank you. I have to be honest, I'm at a crossroads right now in my life. I'm having to make a real big decision about whether to follow track A, which would mean pulling back on my performing, or track B, which who knows where that would lead. And the one would take me back probably to New York. And I just wanted to tell you a little story. The first time that I lived in New York, I went, this was probably that's when it was. And I made tons of friends when I was living there. But my first week, I went to see as many shows as I possibly could. And one of the shows that I saw was the musical Jekyll and Hyde. And I'd been introduced to Jekyll and Hyde just through a recording that I found that had an Australian actually starring in the title role named Anthony Warlow. And what a voice! And, you know, to this day, I'm like, I'm not worthy. You know, because that's who I would love to sound like, you know. But he wasn't in the show, unfortunately. He was just on that recording, but I did get a chance to see the show, and I didn't like it. And I was at the premiere of an off-Broadway comedy, and I met a gentleman there during the interval. And he asked me, you know, what I'd been doing, and I said, you know, it's my first week in New York, and I've been seeing as many shows as I could. And he said, well, what shows have you seen? And the night before, I'd seen Jekyll and Hyde, and I told him that. And he said, oh, really? Well, what'd you think of it? And me not thinking, of course, which is something I very rarely do, I said, oh, I really didn't like it. I kind of hated it. It reminded me of a really good high school production. And I thought the choreography was awful. You're ahead of me. It was the choreographer of Jekyll and Hyde that I was talking to. Yeah. I learned a couple things that day. First and foremost, think before you speak. And second, it's probably not the best time to audition for Jekyll and Hyde. In the musical Jekyll and Hyde, Dr. Jekyll has been trying to create a formula
that separates the good and evil in man's personality. And he goes before the board of directors of the hospital to get humans to do a human trial. And they keep turning him down and rejecting him. And in this next song, he makes the decision to do the human trials on himself. And for those of you that know the story, we all know where that led. But the song is, I think, one of the most beautiful written for modern musicals. This is the moment. This is the moment. This is the day when I send all my doubts and demons on their way. Every endeavor I have made ever is coming into play, is here and now today. This is the moment, this is the time when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this precious chance. I'll gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is the moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, scheming, and screaming become one. This is the day. See it sparkle and shine when all I've lived for becomes mine. For all these years I faced the world alone, and now the time has come to prove to them I made it on my own. This is the moment, my final test. Destiny beckoned, I never reckoned second best. I won't look down, I must not fall. This is the moment, the sweetest moment of them all. This is the moment, damn all the odds. This day or never, I'll sit forever with the gods. When I look back, I will always recall, moment for moment, this was the moment, the greatest moment of them all. Thank you very much. Thank you. I come from a family of 5 kids. Mom and Dad were busy. I'll hear about that one later. But I was actually the first one to get involved in the performing arts, and since then, my 2 younger brothers have gone on to their own successes. My baby brother Gregory works on the TV series How I Met Your Mother. Are you familiar with that? He does set decorating. And my next younger brother, Kurt and I auditioned for the same show. He didn't want to audition. I said, come on, just audition. He got the lead. I got to play a cloud who stood in the back and basically did nothing. But there's no jealousy or rivalry there. No. I'm really, really proud of my brother Kurt. He recently got to share an Academy Award
with the design team of the film Lincoln for Steven Spielberg. So I'm very, very, very proud of him. Along the lines, every year when the Academy season comes up, my family all gets together and we bet on what's going to win. And this year I didn't do too well. But one of the nominated films was Les Miserables. And I'd like to do a number for you from Les Mis. It's one of my favorite songs, one of my favorite shows. Bring Him Home.
Impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, unreachable star. This is my quest to follow that star. No matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man scorned and covered with scars still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star. To fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man scorned and covered with scars still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
Let's pick up the pace a little bit. Maybe. Here's some classics from Lerner and Lowe. You can help me with this one too.
What a day this has been, what a rare mood I'm in. Why, it's almost like being in love. There's a smile on my face for the whole human race. Why, it's what? In love. All the music of life seems to be like a bell that is ringing for me. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I could swear I was falling. I'd swear I was falling. It's almost like being in love. All the music of life seems to be like a bell that is ringing for me. And from the way that I feel when that bell starts to peal, I could swear I was falling. I'd swear I was falling. It's almost like being in love.
Thanks. Here's one from My Fair Lady.
I have often walked down the street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I several in the heart of town. And you'll hear a lark in any other part of
What I did
town.
for the ones to get their family off.
Enchantment pour out of every door. No, it's just on the street where you live. And oh, the towering feeling, just to know somehow you are near. The overpowering feeling that any second you may suddenly people stop and stare, they don't bother me, for there's nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by, I won't care if I can be here on the street where you nowhere else on earth that I would rather be. Let the time go by, I won't care if I can be here on the street where you
All right, by a show of hands, how many of you have ended up with souvenirs that you don't want? And your journey's only, what, a third of the way through? Be careful when you get to Fiji. Remember this, if you can, tuck it in the back of your mind. Don't talk to the locals, or you'll end up with souvenirs with your name carved in it. It happened to me. We were in Fiji, and this gentleman came up and said, "Oh, where are you from?" And, you know, me, because I don't think, just started talking. And I said, "You know, I'm from the United States." And he said, "Oh, how's Obama?" I should have known when he started talking about Obama that we were going to have trouble. But he asked what my name was. I said J. Michael, and he asked what my last name was, and I said Beech. And next thing I knew, he had carved my name into these two really tacky knives, wooden knives. The first one said Michael, M-I-C-A-H-E-L, Michael. And the second one, Beech, B-I-T-C-H. True story. And you can't even regift that, really, you know. My time is almost up. I gotta let you guys go. So, I'm kind of the Peter Pan of my family. I refuse to grow up, and I was recently introduced to this next song, again by an original cast recording. It's from a musical version of Peter Pan that played in London in 2008. I had never heard it before, and then as soon as I heard the words, I was like, I have to sing this song, because it pretty much expresses everything in the way I feel of staying young and just having a good time and embracing life and people and, you know, the world around you. I got permission from the composer via Facebook, you know, social medias. It does have a good side to it. But I'd like to do the song for you now. It's called Never Land.
You must think of something wonderful, a sight, a smell, a sound, a shake or two of fairy dust, and you'll be skyward bound. There is just one rule when flying,
So after this one,
which is not too hard to understand.
and this.
Whatever
Together
you
with the up, then we go. Coming back to one more.
never land. Never land, that's the secret of flying. Never land, nothing equals the thrill. Take my hand, there is no harm in trying. Just believe